Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. Today, we are going to do a deep dive into fatty liver disease.
Ooh.
You know, kind of like what is it, how bad is it, and how do we prevent it?
Exactly.
So,
All the good questions.
yeah, all the good questions. And the good news is this is a very reversible condition
Absolutely.
if you catch it early enough. So we're going to give you all the tools and all the info you need so that you are empowered to
That's right.
take care of your liver.
I love that.
So we're looking at a couple of different sources today just to kind of get like
Yeah.
well-rounded view of this.
Absolutely.
So
A lot of great information out there.
yeah, let's just jump right into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
So it seems like the first thing we should probably talk about is like, how does this even happen? You
Yeah.
know, what are the stages?
Right. Well, so there are 4 stages of what we call NAFLD, which
Yeah.
is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So that's the most common type that we're going to be talking about. And these 4 stages, you can think about it like building a house.
Okay.
But we don't want to build this house.
All right.
So the first stage is simple fatty liver.
Okay.
And that's really where fat starts to accumulate in the liver.
Okay.
It's pretty harmless at this stage if it doesn't progress.
Okay, so it's like the foundation.
Yes, exactly. It's like laying that first brick.
Got it. Okay.
But you don't want to keep building.
Yeah.
So then we go to stage 2, which is called steatohepatitis.
Steatohepatitis.
Yeah, it's a mouthful, I know.
Okay.
But basically, this is where inflammation develops,
Okay.
in addition to the fat.
Okay.
So now we're starting to get a little bit more concerned.
Oh,
Right.
so it's like we've built the walls now and...
Yes, exactly. And now the walls are starting to crack a little bit.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So then we go to stage 3, which is fibrosis.
Fibrosis.
And this is where scar tissue starts to form.
Ooh, okay.
So this is where we're like, oh, this is getting serious.
Yeah, like that's not good.
No, not good.
Scar tissue anywhere is usually not a good
Not a good sign, no.
sign, no.
And your liver is a very resilient organ. It can still function at this point, but it's definitely impaired.
Okay, so we've got like the foundation, we've got the walls, maybe we've even got like a roof on at this point, but it's like,
It's starting to crumble.
yeah, it's like made out of like, you know,
Yeah, and there's like mold growing.
yeah, and there's termites.
Termites, exactly.
It's not
And
good.
then that takes us to stage 4,
Okay,
which is cirrhosis. And this is the scary one.
okay,
This is where there's extensive scarring. The liver function is severely impaired,
okay.
and it can lead to liver failure, liver cancer, a whole host of other
Oh
problems.
no, so this is like
It's like the house is collapsed.
yeah, the house is condemned.
Yeah, you got to get out.
Oh man, okay.
So we don't want to get to stage 4.
No.
The good news is that it is reversible up to stage 3.
Okay, so that's good.
Yes.
We've got some time
We do.
to turn things around.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So it sounds like really understanding these stages
Yeah.
is super important so that, you know,
Early detection.
yeah, so that you know, like,
Yeah.
where you're at.
Yes, and so you know when to take action.
Okay.
Because once you get to stage 4, it's too late.
Oh.
You can't reverse it.
So we want to catch it ideally in stage 1 or 2?
Ideally, yes.
Okay.
But even stage 3, you can still make improvements.
Okay, so really understanding these stages
Yes.
is key.
Absolutely.
Okay. So then what are some of the signs that our liver might be in trouble?
Right. So, a lot of times in the early stages, you might not have any symptoms.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it can be very silent.
So it's like a silent killer.
It can be, yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
But there's some things to look out for.
Okay. Like what?
So one of the most common symptoms is fatigue.
Okay.
You might just feel really tired all the time.
But I feel like that's such a common symptom
It is.
for so many things.
Right.
Like, how do you know if it's your liver or if you just need a nap?
Well, that's where, paying attention to your body and talking to your doctor is important.
Okay.
So if you have other risk factors for fatty liver disease,
Okay.
like if you're overweight or obese,
Okay.
or if you have diabetes or high cholesterol,
Okay.
and you're experiencing this persistent fatigue,
Yeah.
that's definitely a red flag.
Okay.
And then another common symptom is abdominal discomfort.
Abdominal discomfort.
Yeah, you might just feel some pain or fullness in the upper right part of your abdomen where your liver's located.
Okay. But again, that's like a pretty
It is.
general symptom.
It is. It could be a lot of things.
Yeah.
So again, it's about paying attention to the combination of symptoms.
Okay.
And if it's persistent, if it's not going away,
Yeah.
then you should definitely get it checked out.
Okay. So we've got like the fatigue, the abdominal discomfort. Are there any other signs?
Yeah, there are some other signs that might show up later on as the condition progresses.
Okay.
So one of those is jaundice.
Jaundice.
Yeah, have you heard of that?
I have. I don't really know what it is, though.
So jaundice is basically a yellowing of the skin and the whites of the eyes.
Okay.
And it's caused by a buildup of bilirubin in the blood.
Bilirubin.
Yeah, it's a pigment that's produced when red blood cells break down.
Okay.
And normally the liver filters it out of the bloodstream, but if the liver's not functioning properly,
Yeah.
the bilirubin builds up and it causes this yellow discoloration.
Okay, so if you start to, like, look a little yellow,
Yeah,
that's not good.
not a good sign.
Go to a doctor.
Yeah, and then another sign is something called spider angiomas.
Spider angiomas.
Yeah.
That sounds terrifying.
I know it sounds scary, but they're not actually spiders.
Okay.
They're these tiny little red blood vessels that appear on the skin. And they kind of look like spider webs.
I see. Okay, so like little clusters of veins.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, and why do those pop up with liver problems?
It's not entirely clear why, but it's thought to be related to changes in hormone levels
Okay.
that happen when the liver's not functioning properly.
Okay, so basically if you start to notice anything weird,
Yeah.
go to the doctor.
Yeah, don't ignore it.
Don't ignore it.
Early detection is key
Yeah.
because the sooner you catch it,
Yeah.
the better your chances of reversing it.
Okay, so we've got like, the fatigue, the abdominal discomfort,
Yeah.
jaundice, spider angiomas.
Yes.
Okay. So
Those are some of the key things to look out for.
good to know.
Yeah.
All right, well, so we've talked about how it happens.
Yeah.
We've talked about what to look for.
Right.
Now let's get to the good stuff.
Yes.
Like what can we actually do
Right.
about this?
So the good news is that in the early stages,
Yeah.
fatty liver disease can often be reversed
Okay.
with some simple lifestyle changes.
All right, so this is where we get to take control.
Yes, exactly.
Love that.
Okay.
So what are some of those changes?
So probably the most important one is weight management.
Okay.
If you are overweight or obese,
Yeah.
losing even a small amount of weight can make a big difference.
Okay, so we're not talking about like,
Right.
dropping 50 pounds.
No.
Okay.
5 to 10% of your body weight
5 to 10%. Okay.
can significantly improve liver health and reduce inflammation.
Okay, so small changes can make a big difference.
Absolutely.
That's good to know.
And in fact, rapid weight loss can actually be harmful to the liver.
Really?
Yeah, so it's important to lose weight gradually.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yes.
so aim for about 1 to 2 pounds per week.
Okay.
That's a healthy, sustainable rate.
All right, so weight management is key.
Yeah.
What else?
Another really important one is avoiding alcohol.
Okay, I figured that was coming.
Yeah,
Alcohol's not good for you in general, but
Yeah.
it's probably especially bad for your liver.
it is. It's very toxic to liver cells.
Okay.
So if you have fatty liver disease,
Yeah.
the best thing you can do is avoid alcohol completely.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
two things we've got. Weight management, avoid alcohol. What else?
This one might surprise you,
Okay.
drinking coffee.
Coffee, really?
Yeah.
I thought that was bad for you.
It gets a bad rap, but actually research suggests that coffee can be beneficial for liver health.
Interesting. How
So
come?
coffee contains a variety of antioxidants and other compounds that seem to protect the liver from damage.
Okay.
And studies have shown that coffee drinkers have a lower risk of developing fatty liver disease, cirrhosis, and even liver cancer
Wow. Okay, so coffee is good for your liver,
in moderation.
which in moderation. Okay.
So about 3 to 4 cups a day.
3 to 4 cups. Okay.
That seems to be the sweet spot.
All right, so that's good news for me because I love coffee.
There you go.
Okay, so we've got weight management, we've got avoiding alcohol, we've got coffee.
Yeah.
What else can we do?
Another helpful strategy is increasing your vitamin E intake.
Okay, vitamin E.
Yeah.
The antioxidant.
Exactly.
How does that help the liver?
So vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant that helps neutralize harmful free radicals. That can damage liver cells and contribute to inflammation.
Okay,
So it's basically like a shield for your liver.
got it.
And studies have shown that supplementing with vitamin E can improve liver enzyme levels and reduce inflammation in people with fatty liver disease.
Okay, so how do we get more vitamin E?
So you can get vitamin E from food sources like nut seeds,
Okay.
leafy green vegetables, and vegetable oils.
Okay.
But you can also take supplements.
Okay.
But it's always a good idea to talk to your doctor before starting any new supplements.
Of course, yeah. Especially with something like vitamin E, I feel like you can
Yeah.
overdo it pretty easily.
High doses can have some side effects.
Yeah.
So it's always best to check with your doctor.
Okay, so vitamin E, nut seeds, leafy greens. Got it.
Yeah.
What else?
This one's not going to be a surprise.
Okay.
Exercise.
Yeah.
Exercise is good for everything.
I know, it's like the answer to everything.
It really is.
But how does it specifically help the liver?
So exercise helps in several ways.
Okay.
First, it helps you manage your weight, which we
Probably.
already talked about is important.
Right.
Second, It improves insulin sensitivity.
Insulin sensitivity?
Yeah.
What's that?
So insulin is a hormone that helps your body use glucose for energy.
Okay.
And when you have insulin resistance,
Yeah.
your cells don't respond to insulin as well as they should,
Oh, okay.
which leads to a buildup of glucose in the bloodstream.
Oh, okay.
And that can contribute to fat accumulation in the liver.
So even if you're not overweight, if you have insulin resistance,
Right.
you could still be at risk.
Exactly.
Okay.
So exercise helps improve insulin sensitivity,
Got it.
which can reduce the buildup of fat in the liver.
Oh, okay. So what kind of exercise are we talking about here?
So you don't have to do anything crazy.
Okay.
Moderate intensity exercise like brisk walking,
Yeah.
swimming, cycling
Yeah.
for at least 30 minutes most days of the week.
Okay. 30 minutes most days of the week.
Yeah, that's a good goal to aim for.
Okay. So get that heart rate up,
Exactly.
even if it's just a walk around the block.
Yep. And it doesn't have to be all at once.
Okay.
You can break it up into shorter bursts throughout the day.
Perfect. Okay. So we've got weight management, avoid alcohol, coffee, vitamin E exercise.
Yep.
Anything else?
This is another one that people might not be aware of, boosting your vitamin D levels.
Vitamin D. Okay.
Yeah.
What's that got to do with the liver?
So research suggests that vitamin D deficiency is associated with an increased risk of fatty liver disease
Really?
and more severe liver damage.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we make sure that we're getting enough vitamin D?
So you can get some vitamin D from food sources,
Okay.
like fatty fish egg yolks and fortified foods.
Yeah.
But a lot of people need to take supplements,
Okay.
especially if you live in a northern climate
Yeah.
or if you have darker skin.
Yeah.
You might not be getting enough from sunlight.
Right.
So it's a good idea to talk to your doctor
Okay.
and get your vitamin D levels checked.
Got it. So vitamin D is important for liver health.
Yes. It's one of those things that people don't always think about, but it's really important.
Okay, so we've got weight management, avoid alcohol,
Yeah.
coffee, vitamin E, exercise, vitamin D.
Yes.
What else?
Let's talk about diet.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically, the Mediterranean diet.
Ah, the Mediterranean diet.
Oh,
I knew it. I knew it was coming.
It's so good for you.
It's like the answer to everything.
It really is. It's like the magic diet.
It's amazing.
So the Mediterranean diet emphasizes whole, unprocessed foods,
Okay.
healthy fats, and plenty of fruits, vegetables, and legumes,
Okay.
which are all packed with nutrients that support the liver.
So it's all that good stuff.
All the good stuff.
Olive oil.
Olive oil,
Yeah, fish.
fish, nuts,
Nuts.
veggies galore.
Love it.
So it's really about making positive changes to your diet
Yeah.
to nourish your body and support your liver's health.
Okay, so Mediterranean diet is a big one.
Yes.
All right, anything else we can add to our plates?
Make sure you're getting enough potassium.
Potassium. Okay.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with the liver?
So studies have shown that people with low potassium levels
Yeah.
are more likely to develop fatty liver disease.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we get more potassium?
So there are lots of delicious potassium-rich foods out there.
Like what?
Bananas, sweet potatoes, avocados, spinach, beans.
Ooh, I love all of those.
Yeah, so it's easy to get enough potassium.
Okay, so potassium good for the liver.
Yes.
Got it.
And then last but not least, choline.
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 I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, it's kind of a lesser-known nutrient,
Okay.
but it's really important for liver function.
Okay. So,
So choline helps transport fat out of the liver,
okay.
preventing it from building up and causing damage.
Okay, so it's like the liver's cleanup crew.
Exactly.
Love it.
And research suggests that getting enough choline can actually help reverse fatty liver disease in some cases.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful stuff.
Okay, so where do we find choline?
So you can get it from foods like eggs, beef liver, chicken breast, fish, and cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and Brussels sprouts.
Okay, so more veggies.
More veggies.
Got it.
And if you're concerned about getting enough choline, you can also talk to your doctor about supplements.
Okay, great. So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've got weight management, avoid alcohol,
Yes.
coffee, vitamin E, exercise vitamin D, Mediterranean diet, potassium, and choline.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, but it's all good stuff.
It is. And it's all stuff that's good for your overall health.
Yeah.
Not just your liver.
Exactly. So it's like a win-win.
It is.
You're taking care of your liver.
Yes.
You're taking care of the rest of your body.
Exactly. It's all about creating a healthy lifestyle that you can enjoy.
So it's not about deprivation.
Right.
It's about nourishment.
Exactly.
I love that.
It's about making choices that support your body's natural ability to heal and thrive.
All right. I'm feeling very empowered.
Good.
I feel like we've learned a lot
Me too.
about fatty liver disease and what we can do to prevent it
Absolutely.
and, reverse it if we need to.
Yeah, and the more you understand about your body,
Yeah.
and how to take care of it, the better equipped you'll be to live a long, healthy life.
Well said. I think that's a great place to
Yeah.
take a break.
Okay.
We'll be back in a little bit
To
to dive even deeper into this.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
All right.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
Yes. Welcome back.
So before the break, we were talking about all kinds of things.
We were with
Like
the-
all the things you can do to help.
all the lifestyle modifications.
Yeah, all the lifestyle modifications you can do to help prevent fatty liver disease.
Yeah, and how empowering that is.
Yeah, exactly. It's so empowering.
It's not a life sentence.
It's not a life sentence. You can really take control of this.
You really can.
So I'm curious, are there any common myths or misconceptions about fatty liver disease that you can come across?
I think one of the biggest ones is that only people who are overweight or obese get fatty liver disease.
No.
And while it's true that obesity is a major risk factor,
Yeah.
you can actually develop it even if you're at a healthy weight.
Really? So you could be like relatively thin and still get this.
Yes. There are other factors that come into play.
Okay, like what?
Genetics, certain medications,
Okay.
and insulin resistance.
Insulin resistance.
Yeah.
That's something we haven't really talked about.
Haven't yet.
Can you explain what that is?
Of course.
And how it relates to fatty liver disease?
So insulin is a hormone that helps your body use glucose for energy.
Okay.
And when you have insulin resistance, your cells don't respond to insulin as well as they should,
Got it.
which leads to a buildup of glucose in the bloodstream.
Okay.
And that can contribute to fat accumulation in the liver.
Okay. So it's not just about being overweight.
Right.
It's also about like,
How your body is processing.
yeah, how your body's
It's not like
processing.
the glucose.
Sugar. Sugar, exactly.
Okay, so that's a good one to bust.
Yeah.
What other myths are there? Another common one is that fatty liver disease is always silent,
Okay.
meaning it doesn't have any symptoms.
Oh.
So while we talked about, some of the more noticeable signs like fatigue and jaundice,
Yeah.
there can be subtle symptoms early on that people often overlook.
Like just not feeling great.
Yeah, just feeling kind of run down, a
Yeah.
little bit of abdominal discomfort.
Yeah, just like blah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's easy to ignore those.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
But those seemingly minor symptoms can be early clues that something's not quite right.
Okay.
So if you're experiencing anything that's out of the ordinary,
Yeah.
it's always best to err on the side of caution and talk to your doctor.
Get it checked out.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What about the myth that once you have fatty liver disease, you're stuck with it?
Yeah.
Like you can't reverse it.
That's definitely not true,
Okay, good.
especially in the early stages.
Yeah.
Fatty liver disease is often reversible with those lifestyle changes.
So it's not a life sentence.
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's all about taking control of your health
Yeah.
and making those positive changes that support your liver's ability to heal,
It's never too late.
unless you're in stage 4.
Oh.
But even then, there are things you can do to manage the symptoms
Okay.
and improve your quality of life.
Okay, good.
So there's always hope.
I like that.
Yeah.
There's always hope. Okay, one more myth that I hear a lot
Okay.
is that only alcohol causes fatty liver disease.
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't drink, you're fine.
That's not true.
Okay.
So while excessive alcohol consumption can definitely damage the liver
Yeah.
and lead to what we call alcoholic fatty liver disease,
Okay.
the most common type is actually non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or NAFD.
Okay.
And that's related to those metabolic factors that we talked about earlier.
So even if you don't drink a drop of alcohol,
Yes.
you could still...
You can still develop fatty liver disease.
Okay, that's important to know.
It is, yeah.
All right, so we've busted some myths,
We have.
which is great.
What?
Why don't we just recap
Yeah.
real quick some of the key strategies for
Yeah.
preventing and managing fatty liver disease?
Sounds good.
So first and foremost,
Weight management.
weight management.
Super important.
Losing even a small amount of weight can make a big difference.
5 to 10% can really move the needle.
And remember, it's about gradual, sustainable weight loss,
Yes.
not crash dieting.
Exactly.
Okay, so weight management, avoid alcohol.
Yes. Avoid alcohol.
No happy hour cocktails for now.
Not for now.
But good news,
Yes.
coffee.
Coffee's our friend.
Coffee's our friend.
In moderation.
3 to 4 cups a day.
3 to 4 cups a day. That's the sweet spot.
Love it. Okay, what else?
Vitamin E.
Vitamin E.
Powerful antioxidant that can help shield the liver from damage.
Got it.
You can get it through food or supplements. Just talk to your doctor first.
Always talk to your doctor.
Always.
What about vitamin D?
Vitamin D is important too.
Okay.
A lot of people are deficient in vitamin D, and it can play a role in fatty liver disease.
Yeah.
So get your levels checked.
Okay.
And supplement if needed.
Got it. Okay, so we've got weight management, avoid alcohol, coffee, vitamin E, vitamin D, exercise.
Yes, exercise.
At least 30 minutes.
At least 30 minutes.
Most days of the week.
Most days of the week. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy.
So get moving.
Just move your body.
Okay.
And then, of course, diet.
Diet.
The Mediterranean diet's a great choice.
Yeah, we love the Mediterranean diet.
It's so good for you.
Olive oil?
Olive oil.
Veggies.
All the veggies.
Fish. Fruits.
Fish.
Nuts.
Seeds. The whole shebang.
The whole shebang. Love it. And then
potassium.
Potassium.
Don't forget about potassium.
And choline.
And choline.
Our new friends.
Our new BFF.
Okay, so we've got a lot of tools in our toolbox.
We do.
To fight this thing.
Absolutely.
I'm feeling good.
Good.
I'm feeling empowered. I feel like I can really take control of this.
You can. It's really about making those small changes that add up over time.
So it's not about being perfect.
Right.
It's about being consistent.
Exactly.
I like that.
Progress, not perfection.
All right, so we've talked about all those lifestyle modifications.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about a couple things that our sources didn't really touch on, which are stress.
Stress.
And sleep.
Sleep.
I feel like those have to play some role in liver health.
I think you're right.
Right.
You know, even though our sources didn't go into detail on those aspects, there's definitely evidence to suggest that both stress and sleep can impact liver health.
Like if you're constantly stressed out,
I
can't imagine that's good for any organ.
Not good for anything.
Especially your liver.
When we're stressed, our bodies release hormones like cortisol.
Right.
And cortisol can increase inflammation and contribute to fat accumulation in the liver.
So managing stress through, things like mindfulness, meditation, yoga, that could really help.
It could.
Yeah.
And then sleep, when we don't get enough sleep, our bodies don't function optimally.
Right. It's like everything just...
Yeah, it throws everything off.
Yeah.
It can affect hormone regulation, insulin sensitivity.
Okay.
And even the liver's ability to repair and regenerate itself.
So sleep is super important.
Super important.
For liver health.
Yes.
Got it.
So make sure you're getting enough sleep.
7 to 8 hours.
Ideally. Yes.
Okay, good.
So it's really a holistic approach.
It is a holistic approach. It's not just what you're eating.
No.
It's how you're living your life.
It's your whole lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's how you're managing stress. It's how you're sleeping. It's how you're moving your body.
Yeah. It's all connected.
It's all connected.
All right. Well, this has been an incredibly informative deep dive.
I've learned a lot.
Me too.
It's amazing how much we can do to take control of our health.
Yeah.
When we have the knowledge.
It is so empowering to have the knowledge.
It is.
So we're going to take a quick break.
Cool.
And we'll be right back.
Sounds good.
To wrap things up. And we are back.
Back for round 3.
Round 3. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling empowered.
Me too. I feel like we've covered so much.
I feel like this deep dive has given me so much hope and optimism.
Yeah.
Going into it, I was a little bit like, oh my gosh, fatty liver disease.
I know.
This sounds scary.
Yeah, it can sound scary, but you know what? It's manageable.
Yeah.
And when you catch it early, you can reverse it.
It's so reversible.
It really is.
And it's amazing how, even those small changes, like just losing a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
Like 5 to 10% of your body weight.
They make a huge difference.
It's huge. Yeah. And then incorporating those liver-friendly foods.
Yeah, like the Mediterranean diet.
Yeah, Mediterranean diet.
All those colorful fruits and vegetables.
All that good stuff.
It's delicious and it's good for you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not
It's not restrictive.
It's not restrictive.
You're not depriving yourself.
You're nourishing your body.
Exactly.
And I think that's a really important takeaway is that it's not about
punishing yourself.
Yeah, punishing yourself or
going on some crazy diet.
Yeah, going on some crazy restrictive diet. It's about making sustainable changes.
Absolutely. It's about finding things that you enjoy.
Yeah.
That you can stick with long term.
Yeah, exactly. So before we wrap things up, I do want to touch on something that, we talked about before, but our sources didn't really go into a ton of detail.
Okay.
Which is the whole holistic approach. You know, we talked about how stress and sleep.
Yeah, those are big ones.
Can really impact liver health.
They can.
And our sources didn't really talk about it a lot, but
yeah, they didn't go into a ton of detail.
Yeah,
but
I'm just curious.
I know, it's fascinating.
Yeah, how does that all work?
Well, it's all connected.
Yeah.
Right? Your body is this complex system. And so while diet and exercise are super important for liver health, there are these other lifestyle factors.
Yeah.
Like stress management and sleep quality.
Absolutely.
That also play a significant role.
Yeah, like I know when I'm stressed, I tend to reach for the chips and the sugary drinks.
Comfort food.
Comfort food, exactly. And then I don't sleep well because I'm all stressed out.
Right. It's a vicious cycle.
It is a vicious cycle, and that's not good for my liver or for anything else for that matter.
Not for anything.
So finding those healthy ways to manage stress.
Yeah.
You know, like going for a walk in nature or doing some yoga.
Spending time with loved ones.
Yeah, spending time with loved ones.
Yes.
Meditation, reading a good book.
Yes.
Anything that helps you de-stress.
All of the above.
Yeah.
So important.
Because chronic stress.
Yeah.
It just puts a burden on your whole body.
Yeah, your body's just constantly in this fight or flight mode.
Yeah, exactly.
Pumping out those stress hormones.
And the liver is no exception.
Definitely not.
Yeah, and then sleep.
Sleep.
Sleep is so important.
It is.
You know, we all know that we need 7 to 8 hours of sleep.
Really.
But when we're sleep deprived,
yeah,
it just throws everything off.
It does.
Our hormones are out of whack.
Yep.
Our blood sugar is all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And our liver can't repair itself properly.
It's like your body's trying to function on fumes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like running on empty.
Yeah.
So yeah, prioritizing good sleep is crucial.
It's essential.
For liver health and for everything else.
For everything.
Yeah.
Your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health.
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
Well, I think this has been an incredibly informative and empowering
I agree.
Deep dive.
Yeah. I feel like
to fatty liver disease.
I feel like we've given our listeners a lot of great information.
We have, and most importantly, it's actionable information.
Yes.
You know, things that people can actually do to take control of their liver health.
Empowerment. That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Giving people the tools they need to take charge of their health.
So to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Yes. Thank you for tuning in.
We hope you learned a lot.
We hope you feel empowered.
We hope you feel empowered.
And we hope you take good care of your livers.
Yes, take good care of your livers.
And the rest of your body.
Until next time, stay curious, keep learning, and take good care of yourselves.
See you next time.